Hello, if you are just joining us today in painting class, we are drawing out our color wheel exercise. So in our sketchbook, we have it open to a new page. We are going to be hand drawing in pencil first, the circle and dividing it into correct sections and labeling so students can complete this, the inner ring with watercolor and the outer ring with acrylic paint. Now for this particular color mixing exercise, in the color theory unit, you are only allowed to have, for acrylic paint, yellow, cadmium yellow, ultramarine blue, and cadmium red on your tile to mix these other colors in between. For watercolor, you are only allowed to use yellow, blue, and red to mix all the other colors in between. You are not going to be using green out of your palette. You are not going to be using orange out of your palette, and you're not going to be using purple out of your palette. You are going to practice making the specific accurate mixtures, okay? So, in that new page in our sketchbook, each table, I had students grab 3 things from my desk. I have a plastic dish, being the first thing. One at each table. There also should be 1 roll of tape, and there should be also 1 clear cup. So in the instructions on the slide, you'll see it says we are going to be tracing 3 circles to create this diagram. The first thing we're going to trace is the rim of the plastic dish for the outer circle. So you're going to take turns, and you are going to flip this dish so the rim is facing the paper, and you are going to use a pencil and you are going to trace the outer rim to create a nice circle. Make sure you pass it to your neighbor once you're done using that. For the next circle, you're going to be using your roll of tape. You're going to trace the inside of your roll of tape to create one of the middle circles. So make sure you're standing nose over your sketchbook to make sure that's right in the center. These are funny. And you are not tracing the outside. You're tracing the inside circle of your roll of tape. Inside circle. Okay? If it's not smack dab in the middle, no worries. This is about color mixing, not precision of your drawing. So we have the inside of our tape traced for this circle here. Pass that to your neighbor so they can do the same. And for your innermost circle, you are going to trace the bottom of a plastic cup. Now I say the bottom, not the rim. We're going to trace the bottom. So again, you're going to stand over your circles here to make sure it's right smack dab in the middle. Then you can take your pencil and trace the bottom of the cup. And mine's a little off. That's okay, not the end of the world. And then you can pass this to your neighbor so they can do the same. Now after you have 1, 2, 3 rings that look like that in your sketchbook, I want you to go to the center of the room and grab a grid ruler. And I want you to try to guess where the middle of your, almost like a bullseye, where the middle of all your circles are. So try to put a little dot there before we use our ruler. Because what we're going to do next is we are going to divide our wheel into 12 different sections. So to start, we are going to take our ruler, and I'm going to line it up diagonally, but touching that middle line. So it's kind of slicing across diagonally this way. And I'm going to slice all the way across, just like that. We're going to end up erasing everything in the middle, or some people like to paint this black just because it looks cool. That's up to you. But we're going to just do it slice all the way across for now. Now with that same dot right here, you are going to angle your ruler, your grid ruler, so we can make sure it's lined up perpendicular 90-degree angle. See how that lines up with this line here? And I'm going to now slice it diagonally this way. Okay. Now, we are creating a pizza pie. If we have sliced it in 2 directions, how many slices do we have right now? 4. Good. Yes. Now, listen closely, because we need to turn these 4 pieces into 12 pieces. So each section needs to be divided into what? Thirds. Very good. Yes. So each one of these quarters has to be 1, 2, 3 pizza slices within them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this top section here. And I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to spin it so that it creates 1/3 of the way in. I'm going to tilt it kind of like that. And I'm going to slice all the way across, okay? That creates a skinny piece here and here. So I just did this line there. And taking my ruler, I'm going to pivot it even further to eyeball it. If it's not exactly precise, no worries. But we are going to approximately slice another skinny piece there. So we have 1, 2, 3 skinny pieces in this section here. And because we sliced all the way across, it also split down here. You are going to do the same thing with these leftover 2 chunks. You are going to, and I like spinning my paper for consistency, but I'm going to divide this into 1, 2, 3 sections. So I'm going to take my ruler, make sure I find that middle dot, slice it across, and then split this last piece here. So it now looks like a, kind of like a wagon wheel, a tire or something, I don't know. And then what I like to do, I like to erase what's in the middle so that we focus on just the inner ring and the outer ring for this exercise. But make sure you have all 12 sections drawn out before you erase. All right, and that is what we have drawn out so far. Now, the next thing that we are going to do is label our color wheel. It's common that we have at the top of our color wheel, it's common that artists put yellow as high key. In the light yellow, this is the high key color. It should be lightweight so it floats at the top. The heavier colors are more towards the bottom. So this, I'm going to want you guys to find your middle, center, top section, and we're going to write down above that section, yellow. Now the three primary colors in this color model we are using are yellow, blue, and red. So for this exercise, you are going to have these three colors evenly spaced apart on the color wheel. So to do that, we are going to start at yellow, and I want you guys to skip with your finger. I want you guys to skip 1, 2, 3, and on number 4, we're going to write down red. So here's yellow, skip 1, 2, 3. On number 4, we write red. Then we're gonna skip again, 1, 2, 3. Number 4 over here, we're going to write down blue. So these are evenly spaced apart here, okay? These are the only colors, I'm going to put a star, because these are the only colors you are allowed to have to mix all the other colors for this exercise. These are, again, the three primary colors for this color model. When you mix two primary colors together, you get what? I heard it. A secondary color. So we have primary colors. When you mix two primaries together, 50-50, in this spot, you get a secondary color called yellow plus red. 50-50 equals? Orange. Thank you. So I'm going to write down orange. This is a secondary color because it's mixing two primaries. When you mix red and blue 50-50, we get in this section what? Purple or violet, whatever you want to call it. And when you mix blue and yellow primaries 50-50 together in this section, you get what secondary color? Green. Thank you. So while you are mixing and doing this exercise, I suggest you first place the primary colors, since they're going to already be on your tile or already on your palette. Place these three first. Then place orange, green, purple next. You'll have those all on your palette, slowly expanding colors on your palette. Then finally, you can do what are called tertiary colors. Now, tertiary colors are when you mix one primary with one secondary. So, for example, yellow mixed with orange, we're going to keep the name simple today, and we're going to say yellow-orange. And I'm going to put yo, just to represent yellow-orange. Whenever a tertiary color is named by combining these, you always say first the primary color, then the secondary color. So yellow is first, then secondary is O. So for orange and red, I'm going to put red, orange, because red is dominant. It goes first as a primary color, and then orange is the secondary color, so it's the second letter. So when I'm doing purple and red, I'm going to put red purple or red violet, whichever you prefer. Purple and blue, it's actually blue purple. Blue and green is blue green. Again, that's one with a star goes first. And yellow green is going to be our last mixture there. Now, you might find out, when you're looking at an art store, there are different fancy names for some of these, like vermilion or chartreuse or magenta, all of those fancier names. We're just going to stick to those tertiary yellow, orange, red, orange, just because it's easy, okay? Now, like I said, we are going to be using only 3 primary colors for your mixtures with watercolor on the inner ring, and also you're only going to be using yellow, ultramarine blue, and cadmium red for what's on your tile. I would suggest you start out with your watercolor first, and of course I like to always put a label in fancy or fun letters at the top of your page so you know what exercise this is. Color wheel. Well, bam. You guys are ready to get out your watercolor supplies, and you can get started Those of you that are watching the video, thank you. The examples like this is in the weekly slides, and also, yeah, I hope that's enough direction for you.